there, readers. Welcome back to the Reader's Garden. So here's our plan for day 2. We're going to start out by doing our new concept review. Then we'll head over, do some word work practice, our regular word practice and review, and then we'll finish up with connected text, reading, and writing. So let's get started with our new concept review. Hey there, readers. Do you know what letter this is? Yes, this is the letter I. And is I a consonant or a vowel? I is a vowel. So the word I, or the name I, tells us the long sound of this letter, I, but the short sound is I. And how do we sign the letter I? All right, you're going to take your hand and put your pinky up like that, and then hold your other 3 fingers down with your thumb. And that is how you sign the letter I. So let's sign it and say the short I sound. I. We can hear that short I sound in the beginning of the word inchworm. We can also hear it in the beginning of the word itch, or in the beginning of the word insect. Insect. The letter I can appear in different parts of words. Sometimes we see the I in the middle of a word, such as in the word pit. Pit, or in the middle of the word mid. Mid. The letter I sometimes comes in the beginning of words, such as in the word it, or in the beginning of the word in. Now let's explore how we make that I sound, the short I, with our mouths. So to make the I sound, you open your mouth slightly and you keep your tongue relaxed near the bottom of your mouth. The sound is short and quick, like this. I. It has a bit of a bounce to it. Like it almost feels like an excited sound, doesn't it? There's some energy to it. When we say the I sound, our voice is on, which means that we can feel that vibration in our throat. I. All right, do you feel that buzz? Good. That means that your I is working. Now, because I is a vowel sound, we can stretch it, though it's not the most beautiful sound to stretch, is it? It sounds a little bit like you have to make a decision and you're not really sure what to decide. Do you want to eat chocolate chip cookies or do you want to have bananas? I would like to have cookies, please. Okay, so you practice. All right, check out our vowel valley and our sounds that we reviewed so far. So you can see that I is right by that arrow over there, and it's near the top of our vowel valley. Our mouth is not all the way down and open. It's a little bit more shut than we do with the ah sound. All right, so I is almost at the top of our vowel valley. All right, let's make an uppercase and a lowercase I. So to make the uppercase I, we're going to be doing 3 lines. We're going to start at the top blue line here and do a straight line down to the bottom. Then we'll hop back up to the top, do a straight line across, and hop to the bottom and do a straight line across. That's how you make an uppercase I. And to make the lowercase I, you start at the middle, do a straight line down to the bottom, hop to the top, and just do a little dot. And that's how you make the uppercase and the lowercase I. It's time now for us to head over for some word work.
All right, readers, now it's time for our word work mat practice. Mrs. Gardner is going to guide us to build and change words. We'll use our word work mats to help us break apart and put together letters to build a variety of words. Make sure you listen carefully. Are you ready? Let's get started.
My word work mat is all set up with all of the letters in the alphabet. So let's get started. I'm going to start by making the word lid. Lid. Now, how do I change lid to lids? Oh, I'm going to need an S, and because we've got this after our voiced D, we have the S making a Z sound, lids. So please take off that L. Now we have ids, and we're going to put a K up there. What do we get now? The word is Ids, kids, like lots of kids in that classroom. Take off that S, please. Put it back where it goes. What's the word now? The word is k-id, kid. So what happens to this word if I scoot it down one and I bring that S up in the beginning spot? What's the word now? Skid, skid. Like when a car brakes really hard on the road and it leaves marks on the roads. We call those marks skid marks. All right, so take off that D and put an N at the end there. What's the word? Skin, skin. How do I change skin to skip? Like I'm skipping down the road. I will take off my N and put a P at the end there. I get skip, skip. Please take off that K and put an N in its spot. The word is snip, snip, like snipping with scissors. Okay, now I'm going to take off my N. What's the word now? The word now is sip, sip, like to take a little sip of a drink. If I bring an L up and put it between the S and the I, what word do I get now? I get slip, slip. How do I change slip to flip? Slip to flip. I'll take off my S, put an F up there, and the word becomes flip, flip. What happens to this word if I take off that F? I get the word lip, lip. Like I have a lip up top and a lip on the bottom. Lip, lip, lip. Take off that I and put an A in the middle, please. The word becomes lap, lap. Now, how do I change lap to tap, 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 tap? I'll take off that L and I need a tap. Tap, tap. And if I add an S at the end, what happens to this word? We get taps, taps. Mrs. Gardner taps her finger. Tap, tap, taps. Let's take off that S, put it away. Let's take off that T and put it away. The word is now app. Let's take off that A. We got p, p, p. Let's take off that P and we are all done with our word work. Let's go do our irregular word practice and review. This is the word to. Today we're going to learn about why this word is an irregular word. The word is to. Can you say it with me? To. Let's use to in a sentence. For example, I go to school. Now you try using it in a sentence. Okay, so let's figure out how many sounds are in the word to. We're going to finger tap those sounds. The first sound, t. The next sound, ooh. Together, two. Let's do it again. T, ooh, two. Now let's focus on why this word is irregular. Please look at the vowel sound, or the O. When we hear the sound in the word, we're hearing ooh, but it's spelled with the letter O. This is the heart part of the word because it doesn't follow the rules we've learned so far. And that's why we need to know this word by heart. The other thing that's interesting about to is there's more than one version of the word to. For example, if we're counting and we say 1, 2, 3, this is different than the number 2. So when you see T-O, we're not talking about the number 2. Now let's practice spelling this on our arms. Please stick your arm out and let's arm tap. T-O, 2. Let's do it again together. T-O, 2. And that is the word to. This is the word do, and we're going to learn why the word do is a word we need to learn by heart. Can you say the word do? Do. Now let's use do in a sentence. For example, I do my homework. Now you try using do in a sentence. So let's figure out how many sounds are in the word do. We're going to finger tap those sounds. The first sound, d. The next sound, oo. Do. Let's do it again. D, oo, do. There are 2 sounds in the word do. Now let's focus on the by heart parts. When we see the word do, we see the D is doing what we'd expect it to do. It's making the sound D, but the O is making the oo sound. And we do not expect that with our letter O when it's all by itself like that. And so that's why that's the part of this word that we need to learn by heart. This word is do. And the heart is to help us remember that it's the by heart part. Let's tap this word on our arms. D-O, do. Do it again. D-O, do. And that is the word do. This is the word of. Now let's learn together why this is a word we need to know by heart. Let's say the word of. Of. Now let's use of in a sentence. For example, I have a lot of books. I have a lot of books. Now you try using the word in a sentence. Of. Now you try using the word of in a sentence. Now let's figure out how many sounds are in the word of. We're going to finger tap those sounds. The first sound, The next sound, v. Together, of. Let's do it again. V, of. There are 2 sounds in the word of. Now let's look at why this word is a word we need to learn by heart. There's actually 2 reasons why we need to learn it by heart. The first part is the letter O is not making an expected letter O sound. It's making the sound as if it were the letter U. So that's unexpected. And the next part that's irregular is that the letter F is making the sound V, as if it were the letter V. So that's why sometimes kids think that the word of is spelled U-V, but it's not. It's spelled O-F. So both parts of this word are irregular, which means we definitely need to know it by heart. Let's practice spelling it on our arm. O-F, of. Again, O-F, of. And that is the word of. The word is see. Can you say it with me? See. Now let's use the word see in a sentence. For example, I see a bird in that tree. Now, can you try using see in a sentence? Pause if you need to. All right, let's segment this word into its individual sounds using our finger tapping. What's the first word? What's the first sound? S. And what's the next sound? E. That's 2 sounds. See. Let's do it again. S, E, see. Now let's look at why this word is irregular. When we look, we see the S making the S making the S sound, which is expected. But then we see those 2 letter E's together. Now we haven't learned this spelling pattern yet, so this part of the word is temporarily irregular, or for now, a by heart part. And so when we see those 2 E's together, it's telling us to make the sound E. So we have S, E. Now let's practice tapping that out on our arm, those letters. S, E, E, C. Let's do it again. S, E, E, C. And that is the word see. Our last stop for today is our connected text reading and writing practice. Let's head over now. I've got my connected text page all printed out and ready. This is available on my Teachers Pay Teachers store. And today we are focusing on that short I sound. That little mark over top is called a breve, and that indicates that we are saying the vowel in its short form. So we are saying it. So let's look at what we are reading today. We have 3 sentences as usual, and let's start with the first one. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words. I see that we're ending with a period there, so it's a statement. And I see lots of short I's. There's one there. Oh, actually not lots. I see one in the middle of his, and I see one in that word there. So let's get reading. Tim, oh, that's someone's name, Tim. Tim ran to his Tim ran to his twin. Tim ran to his twin. Oh, I have known lots of twins in my life. Do you know any twins? Are you a twin? All right, the next one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words, and I see it ends in a question mark. So this is a question. And do we see any I's? Yep, there's an I right there. I'm going to circle it. It was hard to see before, wasn't it? And I see an I right there. Let's read. Can Lynn do a jig? Can Lynn do a jig? A jig is a type of a dance. Often we hear the word jig referring to an Irish jig, which is a style of dance. All right, the next one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 words ending in a period. And I see a capital I, but this is the word I. And then we've got an I there, an I there, and an I there. Let's read. I see the gift. I see the gift fits him. I see the gift fits him. It sounds like he was given an item of clothing. So let's read everything. You know what? I'll use my special reading pen here. We have Tim ran to his twin. Can Lynn do a jig? Question. I see the gift fits him. Now, these 3 sentences didn't really feel like they had anything to do with each other, but great reading, and let's go write.
Please make sure you have something to write with, like a pencil.
And please make sure you have something to write on, like a piece of paper, or a whiteboard will do just fine too.
Our first sentence is, I can do a big swing. 6 words. I can do a big swing. Oops, hit my microphone. Okay, I'm going to mark 6 words out for writing. I can do a big swing. Period. I can do a big swing. Write this and then let's check it together. I can do a big swing. Oh, I didn't leave myself much space. That's okay. Swing. I can do a big swing, period. Okay, the next sentence is, can Tim do a flip? Oh, that's a question. Can Tim do a flip? Can Tim do a flip? Can Tim do a flip? And then I'll do a question mark here. All right, go right, then come on back. Can Tim do a flip? I wonder, can Tim do a flip? I don't know. Can you do a flip? Okay, and our last sentence is, I see a big cap. I see a big cap. 5-word sentence. Let's mark it. I see, a big cap. Period. And I will go ahead and I'm going to write with orange. So write, I see a big cap. I see a big cap. Period. Excellent writing. Now let's read everything we have written. I can do a big swing. That makes me think of golf. Can Tim do a flip? I see a big cap. Excellent writing. Lesson complete. You did it. You are all done with this lesson.
Phonics connects sounds and symbols, unlocking code increasingly nimble, like wings for words. It'll lift you high with every sound. You soar, you fly.